I'm here recording my answer or my personal ideas for question 6. Um, so, in looking at the documents, listening, looking, watching, reading, I have thought a lot, and of course, my answer is going to contain my own understanding of US history and Native American history, but mostly focusing on the image. Uh, I'm looking at like this huge stretch of land that goes through several states in the northern US and touches Canada. And not a lot of that land is reservations. Sort of towards the top of the image, you can see Lake Traverse Reservation. On the left side, again towards the top, you can see Standing Rock Reservation. And at the very top, or close to the very top, you can see Fort Berthold Reservation. Um, in between Fort Berthold and Standing Rock reservations, there's a sort of like stripy line area called Disputed Sioux Territory. Um, and the fact that it's even disputed, I guess, is a good indication of how little respect Native Americans get and how few concessions the U.S. government and citizens sometimes are willing to offer. Um, the original interactions between the European colonizers and Native Americans have been very badly taught to to students all across the United States. Sometimes they're taught better to students like you who don't live in and are not from the United States, but you're learning more about the truth than some schools in the United States. All of that being said, I think these factors and the documents add up to a sense that the people are being treated like bodies. The Native American people are just a statistic to people who in the US are interested in land, and they're not interested in the fact that their soil is sacred to these people and that the people are human and, have their own needs, and they don't respect these people's rituals and religion and what they need to sustain their culture, even though it was our ancestors, the European colonizers, who came and took over their soil and called it our land. The DAPL controversy reflects a lot of this underlying history of conflict between Native Americans and United States government and citizens. It is a representation of the way that progress, so the Energy Transfer Partners Project, for example, um, can come in and intrude and just invade on something that belongs to Native American tribes, and Native American tribes and anybody who's trying to stand up with them and support them um, is trying to make every communication they can to say, this is not right, and we need to keep our water clean, and we need to keep the sacred land untouched. Um, and they actually did go ahead and install the pipeline anyway. I don't think that there have been any consequences of pollution, but I think it just shows that more and more there's a constant struggle for Native American tribes to do everything they can to keep the small amount of land that they have. Um, the last thing I'll say is the fact that sometimes that you heard about in document B, um, and learn about how they grew food and how they raised their families and what their society was like. And to me, it seemed like a sort of fantasy or something like an ancient culture that doesn't exist anymore. And in fact, it does still exist. So, as I'm hearing many of your responses to question six, I'm really happy to hear your ideas, well, or just your general sentiment that yes, we do need to fight with them to help them keep what is theirs. I'm going to stop there and I appreciate all of your responses and hope you're all doing okay with the confinement.